Okay, I think we have already first viewers, so
Yeah, Emil,
probably
welcome.
we should start. Okay, so welcome everybody. Today we have a very special guest, Stasja. Am I saying your name correctly? Let's start with that.
Well, if you want to say it in Russia, it's Stasja Petrova.
Okay.
In Russian, not in Russia. Well, also in Russian, well, of course. But
how Danish people handle that?
I give them the easy version. I'm telling them Stasja, because they have like a name Sasha, and I'm like, it's like Sasha but with a T. So, but yeah, Stasja is like more
in Polish we have also the name Stasja, actually. It's not very popular, but yeah, it exists.
I think it's mostly Bulgarian, and that's because my mom actually had a lot of Bulgarian friends, and she thought that the name was awesome.
Okay, amazing.
So people often ask me if I'm from Bulgaria. I'm not. Let me just adjust. I feel like it's not completely... Maybe it is now.
It's okay.
I don't know.
It's okay. It's fine.
Let's try. It's anyways, it's not my face, it's the things I'm saying that are important, and as long as people can hear us, that's perfect, right?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so maybe let's start with some easy questions, right? So where are you from? What do you do? And how it all started, right? Why email marketing?
So I'm originally from Russia, but I live in Denmark. I've been living here for 15 years now. And I'm an email marketing strategist. So what I do is that I help companies create revenue through email marketing, through connecting to their customers, through connecting to their audience, and either create sales, direct sales, or leads, depending on the company, depending on the whole thing, right? How did I get into it? Well, yeah, that's a good question. Well, I started when I graduated from university. I started working in a very small digital marketing agency, and there we did I did everything there, but we did email marketing a lot. It was a big part of what we offered. We offered inbound solutions, so inbound marketing solutions. So email marketing was quite a big part of it. And I really liked that. I could see how effective it was. So I kind of I wanted to create better campaigns, better conversion rates. So I just started to look into it, getting really, really down and...
just to give perspective to our viewers, which year was that? Where you first had this contact with effective email marketing?
Honestly, it was I got my first job in 2016. June 2016.
Okay. So this is
2
years ago, something like that. Okay.
Yeah.
I heard many voices email marketing is dead, now you need to focus on Facebook only or Google AdWords only. Or Instagram, or now there is Snapchat, and you should do only that. So many voices. But
that's funny that people say email marketing is dead, because email systems don't have the same algorithms as Facebook and Instagram does. So we all have seen what happened to Facebook lately. So the company pages, they don't get it's really difficult to get organic reach. I know some companies are really good at it, but it's really few of them. So the good thing is with email marketing, email have been there for such a long time. I cannot see that an email system will do something like that. Google does it in a way now with your emails some of your emails can go into promotional folder. But it's still not the same, right? They're still there. They are reaching your audience. Whereas if you post something on Facebook from your company page, it's up to Facebook whether or not your message even reaches your audience.
Yeah.
And there are research done by Marketing Institute in US, and it showed that email still has the highest ROI from all the other media. And
Wow.
actually it's the double of what social media has.
Amazing. Amazing.
So, yeah, so there are a lot of people, but you know what? Those are the people who cannot write good emails, who cannot capture their audience. And this is why email marketing is not working for them.
Yeah, definitely that's a good point of view. Like, if something doesn't work for me, then it's bad, right?
Exactly. Well, I tried it. It didn't work. Yeah, there are a lot of people that are saying, oh, email marketing doesn't work for me. Well, if your strategy is not aligned, then we're talking down to like simplest small things that you can like tweak, and then your strategy is actually working. It's really not, it's not rocket science.
Okay. So, actually, why you have decided to work on yourself, right? On your own. Like, what was this trigger for you that you decided to, okay, now I'm starting company, I will help, I will find customers and I will help them in my own name?
I wanted to do that earlier while I was still working in the company, but I wanted to be there for another year. But then my boss came to me and told me that he decided to close the company.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I that decision was made for me, and that's fine. I just well, then I don't have to wait another year. I really wanted to wait another year to help him build his company. It was a really young company. We were very few people there, so I got to have a lot of responsibilities, could see the company grow. Really, it felt like my own, right? So, but I still wanted to, to put my name on it, as you said. To put my name on it and to be able to decide
I really
myself.
respect that. I really respect that. That's a brave step, and it takes some courage to do that.
Yeah. I think you realize it after you start that, and then there's no going back, and then you have to find the courage to do that.
True.
That's how it was for me, at least.
I made this mistake. Like I switched to working on my own and having a company, and then I had one crisis moment, and I wanted to go back to working for the company like a regular employee. It didn't work out. It just don't. So once you do this transition to basically be your own boss, then it's super hard to make this change to employee mindset. It's almost
exactly. Like for me, it was also I had the best boss ever. I could not have dreamt of having a better leader there. I was able to make 90% of decision within my area, but the 10% just really got to me. The 10% where he had to say, Stasja, we did it my way. You just have to do it, and that's okay. That a company owner tells you that we're doing it their way, but for me it was I could feel in me it did not work for me, that there was somebody else telling me to and it's not about telling me what to do, it was about us not agreeing on something, how it should be done, and of course he's the one with the last word. So I just wanted somewhere where I'm going to decide what's right and what's not right.
At least his decisions were right or wrong. What's from the time perspective?
They were right for the company, definitely.
Okay.
As I said, it wasn't anything. It wasn't anything that was completely against of what I was thinking. I just wanted to do it in another way, and 90% of the time I got to do it another way, in my own way. And the 10% of the time he actually told me that we're going to do it his way, which is also, it's fine. But for me, it was and I started to think about whether or not I should, is it me? Should I change? Should I just not care enough about this? And
being employed is hard in many ways.
Yeah, in many ways, but it's also nice in many ways as well, right? So it's all about where you are in your life. I think I really enjoyed my time at the company. I would have gladly taken 1 year more to really learn and to grow the company. but it's also okay. Now, like as you said, I cannot go back now.
Yeah. Now you have a much faster learning process on your own.
Definitely.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about leads, right? Something which every entrepreneur, every company owner wants, as many as possible, right?
Exactly.
So how do you know you have a good lead? How do you distinguish, like, those are good leads, those are bad? Like, let's explain it a little bit more for our audience.
So there are, of course, multiple ways to know that, and there are also multiple ways to track the leads. And if you have a good email system, you can actually see how, like, under each lead, you can actually see how engaged they are with your content. So how many pages have they visited on your website? When was the last time they visited a page? What pages they visited? And so there's a thing called lead scoring, which really high-end, or not high-end, big companies are using it a lot right now, and that's simply to say, okay, so how many connections points did this person have with us?
How
if it's only
called
one,
this system? Could you repeat?
Sorry, what?
How it's called this system you just mentioned? This tool.
It's called lead scoring. So you basically score your leads. You give them some points. They of course don't know about that. It's only internal system in the company for them to evaluate what horse they should bet on, right? Like what kind of people should they contact within all the leads they're generating? Where should we focus our efforts? And of course, the leads with a high score. So the person who has been visiting your website multiple times, the person who have signed up to a couple of your freebies, who's opening your emails, who's clicking on the links in your emails, that's a really good lead, right? That's a person who obviously shows a lot of interest in what you do, your company, and your products.
Could you recommend some kind of system for that? Do you know any tool which does that, actually?
I know I work a lot in Active Campaign, and they do it as well. So you basically can tag people. So you're saying if the person clicks on this link, it has to have tag clicked on a link, or visited this page, or if they're visiting this page, your cookies can tag them in a way that, or they visited this page.
Okay. So we can see all the history of user going through your content, basically, right?
Exactly. So if you only have a person who just subscribed to your list, they haven't clicked, and their opening rate is really low, then that's not a good lead. You should not focus on that. Well, you should focus on getting that person to better scoring, to a warmer place. But this is not the person you should contact with an email, hey, should we work together? Because they probably don't even know who you are. They probably maybe open one of your emails.
Okay, that's very smart, and definitely something people thinking about email marketing should consider implementing in their business, right? So, okay, but let's consider we are just starting with email marketing, we don't have big budget. What would be the 3 ways to get leads on the budget?
Yes. So to get leads, you do need to offer something of value. Otherwise, just asking people to join your email list is it doesn't give you anything, because there are so many email lists out there. Why should I join yours? Yeah. So you need to create what I call a freebie. So basically a product that you can give away for free in exchange for an email.
Okay.
Yes. So that's I do have 3 ways to promote that freebie and to get people on that list. But you do need to start with having something of value to offer them.
And how would you promote this freebie so that people know about it, basically?
Yeah, exactly. So I've made a list of 3 things that you can easily do to promote it. One is using social media.
Okay.
And I'm talking, of course, you can promote it on your company profile as well. I do it as well on my, I have a Danish company site, Danish company page that I'm maintaining. For my international market, I use just my personal page, personal profile, it's called, on Facebook. I'm just using my personal profile on Facebook. So, and there I promote my freebies. I say, hey guys, I've made this thing here. If you all need, and a freebie can be a list or it can be an ebook. Ebook is though a lot of work. So you can easily figure out like, okay, so can I make a checklist? Or can I make key steps or like 10 steps to something, and then like super easy steps to implement.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, or if you have done a masterclass or something like that, a training, that training can be your freebie. You just need people to give you their email addresses, and then you send them the link to the training, right?
Would you recommend sharing this kind of freebie on, I don't know, Facebook groups, different communities?
Yeah, the first thing is actually just using your personal profiles, and that's on Facebook and on LinkedIn as well. It works pretty well. So what you can do in LinkedIn is basically you go out there and say, hey guys, I just created a list of 10 key things you need to remember when you're going to networking events. Let's just say that. So, and and then you can say, hey, who will be interested in getting this list? And then people like, oh, I am in the comments. And basically you're just like sending them the link via personal message on Facebook, on LinkedIn. Okay. So sending them a link on personal a link on LinkedIn, like through Messenger on LinkedIn. I don't know what through messages on LinkedIn, and say, hey, I saw you were interested in this thing. You can download it here. And that's basically a link to your landing page for your freebie.
Okay.
Yes.
So that could be really a good starting point, right? To get some initial traction.
Yeah, that's like the first thing. That's the first thing. I can see Emil actually wrote a question. Are we taking questions later, or how are we doing this?
Let's see. We can take some questions now.
Yeah, let's do that.
Question.
So
we have a question from Emil. What kind of tool can you use for successful email marketing? I use MailChimp. I would like to use email marketing more and should grow my mail base. Just for reference, Emil is a very popular YouTuber, and he has very big audience on YouTube, of course. But what I suppose, he would like to get this audience also on his email list, because as we talked before, you never know what will happen with the platform, right? But if you have the email address, it's yours. It's yours database, right? So let's try to answer this question.
Exactly. And just to add to Emil, to what you said about YouTube and social media, I know that YouTube also changed how they show the content. So now you don't necessarily get showed a content from people you have subscribed to, which is kind of weird, right? Because I chose to follow a certain person.
Yeah, then you need to hit this bell, some complications. It can hit you pretty hard if you are just starting, for example, or even like people who are on YouTube for many years can be surprised how they are losing their audience.
Exactly, because YouTube now wants to decide what they want to promote from the content, right? So therefore an email list for Emil could be perfect, simply because then he can send out an email to all of his followers saying, hey guys, I just uploaded another video, do you want to see it? Another thing he could do, and I will get to his actual question in a second, but another thing he could do is actually trying to make his list a little bit more exclusive. So giving some exclusive content that maybe is not on his channel on YouTube, or only accessible with a link to YouTube. So people feel videos. I get something out of being on your email list. I'm special, I'm getting exclusive access to this. Nobody else is getting it. Of course, other people on the list are getting it. But the thing is, with email marketing, you can make it super, super personal simply because you're addressing this one person. They're getting your email together with the emails from the colleagues, from their friends, from the family. So it is much more personal.
Yeah.
Yes. MailChimp is fine. Like, I know a lot of people are using it. It's just a little bit limited in terms of functions, and it's limited in terms of tracking people. But I think for email, in this case, for now, it's really good. Like, I do like that it's quite easy to use.
And like for people who just start, it's free until 2,000 emails, right? So
exactly.
That's good starter.
Exactly, and you don't have, you don't have that excuse that, I don't want to spend money on it. Well, it's free. You can and with time, MailChimp actually have created a lot of stuff that usually have been paid. They're now for free. Like automation was a paid version of MailChimp before. Well, now you can create automation for free. And they're also doing landing pages. I haven't experimented with landing pages on MailChimp yet. I'm still to do that. I'm really excited to see how it works, if it's in the free account or you have to pay for it. So I'm looking forward to it. But it's a good idea for them to say, hey, you can create squeeze pages, like landing pages for your freebie here, so you easier can get people on the list. So I would suggest just go ahead and go on with using MailChimp and just focus on delivering good content and growing your list. You can actually, Emil is using YouTube, so it's a perfect media, perfect platform for him to say, hey guys, I actually have this list. So if you want to get exclusive content, so he doesn't even need a freebie because he can just say, hey, do you want exclusive content from me? Do you want behind the scenes or are they called bloopers? Like those at the end of some movies, they're showing all the things that people are saying wrong or funny things.
Yeah.
This can be his way of saying, this is what you get extra. Yeah.
And how often he should actually send emails to this list? Because this is also a very popular question.
Yeah, and that's a very interesting answer as well, because every email strategist, even the very, very big people in the industry, they have different answers, and some of them are saying every day even. My answer is get to know your audience. How often do your audience want to hear from you, and figure out how often you can create amazing content for them. If you can do and that depends also on the industry. What I do is very, knowledge based, and my audience are very busy people. They don't have, so emails I write are often very, very long and really go into depth with things. So they don't have 5 minutes every day to read an email from me, but they have 5 minutes every week to read an email from me. So that's figure out your audience, but most people are not sending enough emails. So more emails than you do now, probably.
Well, the problem with YouTube is also that people don't get all the notifications, right? So maybe some people tend to forget about the person they were watching for some time, and they lost the focus, I would say. So maybe sending once a week or maybe once per 2 weeks could be a good reminder that, okay, there's fresh content for you. Maybe you should, get into it.
I think, once a week is not a lot. Honestly, if people are wondering, is once a week too much? No, it's not. So at least once a week, if you can create really, really good content for them. And with good content, I don't mean long content. It can be one single tip or one single story or even just a notification to watch his videos. So people are already subscribed to his videos. So they already actively have shown that they're interested in the content that he's making.
Maybe just in this case, the list of the movies which were released in the last 2 weeks. Maybe they, didn't watch something, and, it will remind them that, okay, I wanted to saw that and I forget, and YouTube didn't show it to me again. That's the moment, right?
Yeah, or he can send some of his best most popular things out to people and say, hey, this is the most popular video during the last year. Have you watched this? Because I know some of you haven't. So, or you can rewatch it and have fun with it, or something like that.
Awesome. Okay, so we partly like talked how to keep the leads warm, right? So we need to keep the contact with them. But
I think we sorry, I interrupt you. I think we kind of got stuck on 3 ways to generate leads, and I already mentioned one way.
Okay.
And then we took the question.
Okay, so let's get back to 2 more methods.
I don't want to, to make people miss out on this.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds important. So let's go back, one step back.
So my other way is groups, as you mentioned, actually.
Okay.
So it's being active in groups, but not in the way of, hey, I've made this freebie, or I made this ebook or checklist, you can download it here. That's just, it's too salesy, you're not building connection. Why should people even care that you made a checklist if they don't even know who you are, right? So a good way to do that oh gosh, a good way to do that can be that you're doing a post. Either you're taking something like a piece of information and giving good advice in the post, and then you can say, hey guys, if you're interested in knowing more about this, I've actually created this checklist. So it can be, so if you're a digital marketer, for example, right? So you can take one of the pain points or one of the problems and say, hey, I know a lot of people struggle with this, so what you need to do for this is actually you need to keep consistency. For example, you have to have consistent content for Facebook to prioritize your content. This content should be engaging. By the way, if you want to know how to create consistent content and the content that your audience engages with, I have created this ebook, or I have created this checklist with ideas or something like that. Check out my page to find out how you can get it for free. And so you actually deliver value before you ask for something, and you kind of frame it in a way that, hey guys, I've done it only for you, only to serve you.
So give first, then ask for something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The only time you can actually not do that part is that, so let's say let's keep with that social media, right? You can go into groups, relevant groups, and then search function, search for the word. So what I do is I go into relevant groups and I write email in there and see what are people saying, what are the questions. And then I interact with them, answer the questions. And if it's relevant, for my freebie, I say, hey, so I first answer the question. You shouldn't just, say, here's my freebie, you'll find out how. You should answer the question. And they say, by the way, if you want to know more, I have created this resource for you. You can check it out here. And what happens is, not only this person is checking it out, all the other people there do it as well, because people are also, when people see a question in a group, they also look at the answers if they have the same question, right? And for each person asking the question, they're probably depending on the group, but there can be hundreds and hundreds out there who has this question but haven't asked it.
What I also noticed that if you there's some question asked on the group, for example, and you just post something in the comments, then you will get all the notifications when someone posts in the same thread. So in this case, you can also regularly post something there, and you will get more and more attention, because every time you post, those people will get notification, of course.
Yeah, good idea. I haven't thought about it like that.
Yeah, I have just noticed recently that, that's how it works now, and it has been changing over the time, but right now it can be pretty powerful.
Yeah, just make sure it's not too much. So I would probably not comment more than a couple of times.
Yeah.
On it, and make sure it's all different, right? So you don't want to write the same comment twice.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the method number 3?
Third way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just making sure we don't forget. The third way is super obvious, and still there's like 70% of companies who have not implemented it yet, is basically to make sure that the freebie you created, that you have a pop-up on your website with that, offering that freebie. Okay. That's how simple it is. Yeah, and if you hate pop-ups, like a lot of people say, oh, we hate pop-ups, they're so annoying. Well, they work. If they didn't work, people will not use them. So, yeah, they're annoying, but they work.
Okay, and what in the situation, for example, we have a blog on some platform like Medium. Do you know any solution for that? How we can, grow our list with Medium? Because with Medium you get a lot of exposure, like so many people can find you this way. But the problem is you can't put the pop-up there.
No. Can you put the, what's it called, like a link there?
Link, yes.
Yes. So what you can do is in the middle of the text say, hey, by the way, if you want to know more about this topic, you can subscribe to our newsletter here, or like we have created this guideline or guidebook for you to download. Here's the download link. It will not be as effective as a pop-up, but you cannot make a pop-up for Medium because Medium uses their own pop-ups for that. Although there is, I need to figure out what it's called, but there is a service where if you want to share your own article on, like, if you want to share on your own media, social media, the article from Medium, right? So you can say, hey guys, I read this article, here it is. So basically you can run it through an online system. So when people click on that link and start reading it in Medium, they will have your pop-up. But I don't remember what it's called for now. I will check my notes.
It's called Replug. I'm using it.
Really?
Yes.
That's awesome. Thank you. Now I don't have to check it. Can you write it in the comments at some point so people can know what it is?
Sure. Okay, so this would complete the 3 methods to get leads for free.
Yes. We got through them. Yay.
Yes. Okay, we talked a little bit about the warm leads, so maybe we don't need to, go through that again. But how would you convert those leads we already have in our mailing list to the paying customers? So something which, like, almost every marketer is struggling, how to increase this conversion rate.
Yeah. And there are a couple of ways to do it, or I would say a couple of steps to do it, because you need to combine those things. And the one thing is that you need to build personal connection, because if people are not having this personal connection to you, they will probably not buy from you. If your product is really, really, really good and the price is really, really cheap, they will. But most likely they won't. And the way you build personal connection is through writing conversational emails, through also not being afraid to talk about your own experience, to really write like you would write to a friend. So what I usually tell people to do is that think about a friend, think about one of your friends who's kind of in the category of your target audience, because you always have somebody in your network. It doesn't have to be friends. It can be a colleague, or it can be a former colleague. It can be anybody who is kind of reminds you of the person that your ideal client is. And open your email program, open Google Mail, Gmail. Write their email in there, write your title, and just go ahead and write if you're going to write to them. Then what you do, of course, is that you take their name and you in your email system you put this thing name in. So it says. So yeah, and that's a way. In that way, your emails will be super personal. They will feel like they're coming from a friend to a friend, because this is how you wrote them. But it's really it's not difficult, but just getting over this step of I have to write formal emails, dear sir or madam, that can take a little bit of time to get used to. But when you've done that a couple of times, it comes naturally after that, because it's just that shift that needs to happen.
Yeah, for me it's always a problem, how to find this personal voice which will go through all the noise around us. right? Because
Exactly.
this is super difficult, and I think you need a practice basically to be able to do it like day to day.
Practice makes perfect. This is how I like. My first emails were super formal. I was right out of the university, and my boss was making fun of me for that. So yeah, and by the time I got better and better. What I recommend after, like, when you're just starting out, I'm not doing it right now. Sometimes I actually do, but I'm not doing it right now with every email. But what I recommend, when you're done, just read it aloud, and you will hear if it sounds natural, the way you would literally say it to somebody, or if it sounds weird.
This is a very good advice. My friend recently told me he also used the same strategy, the same method to perfect the pitch for the client. So he writes something, and English is also his second language. So he writes something, then he tries to read it. It doesn't sound natural. Sometimes he even translates it to his first language, and then he reads it aloud and find the bad points and translate it back to English, and then it's perfect.
Yeah, exactly. But it works a lot. When I was starting out, I was writing a lot. Like, it is therefore important that you, and then once I tried to read it, and I would never say it that way, right? That's like way too formal. So yeah,
Okay.
But again, it's all about practice. All about practice.
Okay, let's say someone would like to start using email marketing right now for their brand. What would you advise to that person? What they should do? It's like, I don't know, few actionable steps they can do within a day or even faster to start it up.
Well, the first step is actually to create something that people will subscribe to, right? To create that freebie that I'm talking about. And a lot of people, when they start thinking about it, they feel like it has to be like a lot of work. It has to be a lot of information. And they're wrong. Because if you're creating this amazing ebook with a lot of information, most likely people will not read it. So the easiest and best way to do it, both for you and your audience, is a checklist. With that said, make sure that it actually provides value. If I see another freebie that's like super basic information, I just get mad at people for asking my email for that.
Don't tell me about it. I see the articles on websites like Entrepreneur or other like that, and there is like nothing of value. Nothing. Exactly. So yeah, think about a good way to get that is like think about what are people most surprised about when you like talk to your clients. What is the one thing they need to do that they feel like, wow, we did not know we need to do that, or really we did not do we have to do that? That's a weird way to do it. But once they implement it in their organization, they actually see the really good results. Because then you're delivering so much value to your audience. At the same time, they don't have to read a 100-page book from you. Yeah. Ebook from you. Because nobody will read it. So just to give an example, I was recently coaching this coach. Like coaching, email marketing coaching, not anything else. And so she created freebie, an amazing ebook, and I looked at it and I said, can you cut it in half? So half of it we will repurpose in your emails, and half we will make to an ebook, because there was too much information in it. It was all good, but people will look at it and see how big it is. They will think, I don't have time to read it all now. I will just come back to it later, and they will never come back. And after she took half of it out, and she sent to me the actual ebook, and she wrote to me, isn't it too thin? Isn't it too little information? It wasn't. It was filled with really, really, really good information in a very concise, really nice way that people will not get overwhelmed. It's something you can read in, most amount will be half an hour.
I think you can easily read, like, if you're quick reader, in 15 minutes.
Like
Fast
providing
reader,
something
yeah.
too long doesn't make sense in our busy world, right?
No, take something that is like super obvious to you, but not as obvious to your ideal client, and you have it.
Yeah.
And really, because people think ebook, it should be super long because super long means value. Really it doesn't, right? You can write a 100-page book without any value.
I sent you today, I received an ebook from Intercom. This is a very popular company right now for customer service and stuff like that. The ebook was 72 pages, from which I found interesting were 2.
Yeah.
So that's
and imagine
how it
how much
actually looks.
better the product will be if it was just 2 pages with that what you found interested.
Exactly.
Will it be more of value to you? It will be to me, because then I would not have to spend half an hour to only gain 2 pages out of it.
Yeah, just you need to scan all this text, find the pieces of the content which are actually interesting, and it takes more time. You are more frustrated, or someone who is just busy will just drop it to the trash and forget about it, right?
Exactly. And yeah, so the reason why I'm saying that is that I see a lot of people going like years and years with creating the perfect freebie where it should take you like 1 day to do it. Like honestly, find 1 day in your calendar and just do it. Just get it done.
Like 10 points, checklists, some graphics, done.
You can even find somebody on Fiverr to make it all pretty for you if you don't have the resources in your own, in your own company, or you don't know anybody who can do it. You can easily, really don't overthink it. I think one of my freebies is not even properly set up, in a pretty way. It's just a Word document, like a PDF document they get with questions. That's it. At some point, I will definitely find somebody, but the value is there. So, better done than perfect.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes. And then just start promoting it with the 3 ways we talked about, and any other way you can find without being pushy. And then make sure you have a sequence to follow after that. Because if you're just collecting emails and people are not hearing from you until next time you finally get inspired, you finally get motivated, you finally have time to write an email, then you
probably writing the email sequence will take the most time, right? Because you really need to have everything think through how you want your customers to react.
I will not lie, it takes time. It does take time. All good things in life take time, as I say. But the thing is, it will free up so much of your time. It will make sure that the leads that you work so hard on getting, they just don't vanish into the thin air. And once it's implemented, maintaining it is really a piece of cake. It's really, really easy, and it's basically working for you. So spend a week doing an email sequence, but then you don't have to work for the next 2 years to nourish your leads. You just need to work on getting the leads through the email sequence, to the email sequence. And the one project I just done doing, my client is getting between 2 and 4, she's getting, between 2 and 4 people contacted her, wanted to work with her through this whole thing.
Okay, in what period of time?
In a week, every week.
Okay.
Did my
that's pretty good. If those are consulting gigs, that could mean a lot of money for single, small company, right? That could be more than enough.
And
awesome.
Honestly, her budget to grow her list is not big, so she's not growing her list fast. So a consulting company will probably have a couple of $1,000s to spend on just growing, like just promoting the freebie, just getting people on the list. And then it will be many more things.
Does she use the Facebook advertising for promotion?
She's using lead ads, and I've helped her set it up, but she's done it all on her own. She's super awesome. I helped her with the strategy. So basically what we did for her is that we sit down and I've told her like what she needs to write in every email. And she went ahead and written it by herself because she's good at writing. She's good like, I do done for you services, but also do the strategy with people because a lot of people I work with, they are really good writers. So the way they will write is another way of what I will write. So I just don't want them to lose their voices in it, right?
That's true. That's important. Just keep the original voice, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so we didn't talk about it today, but you have some kind of mastermind, right? So could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so I'm going to do a masterclass to start with, a masterclass on email marketing. I will basically do like a really structured, what do you call it? I have the Danish word in my head now, but not. So a walkthrough, a really structured walkthrough.
It will be like a course or series of webinars. What you are planning?
It will be just 2 hours of a live stream with me and PowerPoint I'm doing. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to talk about email marketing even more. I'm going to go like much more into details with lead generation, email sequences, tips, and also ideas for what to write, how you can use emails to generate sales, and of course what kind of mistakes people make most.
Yeah,
so just to help my audience to avoid them. I've decided to, because I really want to impact as many people as possible, so I've decided to give away the first 100 spots for free.
Awesome.
Yes, I'm really excited about that.
How many places are left?
Oh gosh, I haven't even checked, but like less than half of spots are available now. And it's filling up pretty fast. So of course I want to make sure that all of your members here, they actually get a possibility to join the masterclass for free. So
after our call, put the link below. I'm pretty sure many people will be interested into joining the masterclass.
Yes. So the thing is, they have to fill in a little like the questions in the group, but they're pretty easy and just for me to know like what kind of people have in the group. What level exactly? How much did they work with? Like, do they have a list? Don't they have a list? So I can target my masterclass towards exactly the people that are there. But I think after the masterclass is done, it will be a mastermind group where they can ask questions, where I will be going live. And so, so basically if you want to really learn email marketing and really implement it in your business this year, this is a place to be.
Okay, everything about email marketing. Perfect. So if some of our of people who are watching us would like to reach you and actually that they need some kind of consultation, that they would like the email funnel made for them by you, how they can reach you?
They can just connect to me on my personal profile. So I will just post some comments. I will say, hey, in this, but I think I already did that when you scheduled it. But I will just post a comment in the group here and say, hey, so go ahead, add me. Please write me a message that this is how you know me through this group. Otherwise, I might not know. So because I'm getting a lot of people contacting me. So if I know you from this group, then I actually know where you belong, and then I will be super excited to work with you.
I'm asking because this video will be also on YouTube on our channel, Amplify Circle channel. So that's why maybe this information will be necessary. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Otherwise, you can find me in my group, which is called Email Mastery Masterclass, Get Clients in Your Sleep. This is where I going to do the masterclass, and it's probably going just to be like a group afterwards.
Awesome. So maybe you can share what are your plans for the future? Like, do you want to start your own agency, or I don't know, prepare like a super big course for email marketing? What are you planning?
Oh gosh, I haven't even thought about it like that. Like my year's plan for the future is to really grow my business and being able to work with different types of companies. So I do want to work with bigger companies with my done-for-you services, but I also love helping amazing people that are starting out or solopreneurs out there who are not a bigger company but still want to automate their marketing activities, because those are often the people who are having a business, having a family, trying to keep up with having a business and trying to be a girlfriend, boyfriend, wife, mother, father,
Many things
anything,
at the
right?
same time. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've been there myself, and I've been sitting on vacation with my mom and doing work on my phone and feeling crazy guilty about it. And automation process can really, really, really make it less hassle, much more. So you're kind of doing all this building connection, building contact, leading people through customer journey. It's all doing it for you once it's at the top, and that's just a great thing. And then you only need to either show up for the meeting that your automation is booking for you, or deliver the sales that your automation is selling for you. So that's just the product that your automation is selling for you. So yeah, I cannot see why people are not doing this more. But yeah, I can, because it takes time.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a big fan of automation. The tool my company is building right now for project management is all about automation. Like how we can make all the project management or the client or the lead flow, right, automated and organized. If we have some systems in place, it could be so much easier.
Exactly.
Okay, so is there anything our group members or our viewers could help you with? Do you have something like that? Like you need people to go there and do that? I think, from what we talked so far, it could be this masterclass that this is really cool product, which still is free, right?
Yeah, right now it's free, but it's because I really want to really just give people value and of course get a lot of good feedback on it as well, and good testimonials, so I can promote it and make money from it as well. But I think it's important to just start giving, and then I can receive, right?
How much it will be in the future?
What?
How much it will cost in the future?
I don't know yet. It will depend. I think actually I will be asking people who participated for free of what they think it's worth. And
that's a cool idea.
I think they're going to think it's worth a lot of money, honestly, because simply I have actually attended well, it's not a masterclass, a webinar yesterday from this huge email marketing dude, and honestly I didn't get anything out of it.
Really?
So
can I ask
it was
who that
basic.
was?
I don't remember it.
Okay,
I just know because I'm following multiple of them, and I was yeah, sure. So I have 3 or 4 in my head that I know they are there, but I've never think about who it is.
Yeah.
So
but definitely,
honestly,
if you can provide more value, then you should ask definitely more than they are asking, right?
Maybe I was not his target audience. So yeah. Well,
Okay.
it happens. It's okay.
Okay. Okay, I think we will slowly wrap it up. Let's just check if we have any more questions. We answered Emir's question. I don't see any more. Just quickly check.
Otherwise, people easily can ask them whether it's on the YouTube channel or in the group. It's it's fine. We'll be there. Hopefully you will let me know if there's something on YouTube channel, because you will get the notification about it. In the group, I will be able to see it if you commented on this video. And ask questions, guys, and join the masterclass where you also can ask questions. Funny enough. So.
I think part of our viewers, they are in United States, so they are actually still sleeping. So because of that, this content can't reach them right away. But I'm pretty sure they will watch it.
Working remotely, right?
Yeah, exactly. There are good and bad sides of that.
I know. I was up at 3 in the morning, 3 a.m. to have a group meeting with, I think it was Australia and Bali. So I know about that.
Yeah, it can be challenging.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah.
So let's wrap up this live. Thank you very much, everyone, for your questions, for likes, to the stream. Thank you, Stasja, for amazing information and insight about email marketing. I have learned a lot, and I'm pretty sure the people who watch us as well, they could learn so many things today that I'm pretty sure we should repeat that. Maybe we should gather some more questions before to just answer our group questions and just give them what they actually need, right?
Exactly.
So
I love to do that.
Yeah, we can repeat that in some time. So thank you very much, everyone, for watching. We'll be coming with the next interview soon. And have a great weekend.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you very much for joining. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.